From time immemorial, our ancestors have put a deep meaning into any of their occupations, and the subtleties of different crafts were kept, passing from generation to generation. These are details, important accents, of which the culture and way of living of the Great Steppe civilization were built for centuries. The School of Nomads is for studying the past, creating the present to build the future. This heritage, left by our ancestors, came to us from the depths of the ages. It took an important place in the life of the nomads. It protected from the cold, kept cool in hot weather, and became an irreplaceable decoration of the house of the inhabitants of steppe regions. We are talking about sacred felt. In today's program, we will talk about tekemet, a textile floor or wall covering, a great sample of applied arts. Nowadays, the art of felting, especially making tekemet, was preserved only in the cradle of the Kazakh soul in the villages. One of them is Kokkaynar, which is located in the Almaty region. In order to get acquainted with this handicraft and learn its basics, I went to the master Kulan Jangutte. Appa, my name is Samat. I study our traditional crafts, try to learn about them and the heritage of my ancestors. So I came to you. I want to learn how to make a tekemet. Of course, we will teach you. Tekemet making art starts with it. Here everything begins with washed sheep's wool. Asher Kulapa is now scratching it. Hello, how are you? I came to learn how to make a tekemet. I'm ready for any tasks. Appa, what are you doing? We will teach you everything that we can. This is autumn wool. It is sheared in the autumn. We wash, clean, dry all winter and summer long. Then we beat like this and start making tekemet. Could I try too? From this, I'll probably start. Of course. Here, sit back a bit. Should I beat it? Yes. Here, hold tightly. Like this? Yes, you can do it simultaneously, or you can take turns. Why should I do this? To make it cleaner, and to make the wool become softer. Are there different types of the wool? Yes, of course. Of two types, autumn and summer. Autumn wool is sheared in autumn. You can use white wool. Apply black patterns on white. Here it is ready. My hands are tired. How did you sit all this time? We are accustomed. I cannot do it in a proper way. No, it's alright, easy. Take turns. Then everything will be alright. Felt, a material made from autumn's sheep's wool, used in everyday life. It is known that felt was made by tribes who inhabited the territory of Kazakhstan in ancient times. For example, during the excavations of the burial mounds, scientists discovered a felt, which age dates back to the first millennium BC. However, archaeologists found new evidence that this material was made even earlier. For example, Today scientists are gathering bits of felt which age is estimated as 4,000 years. This is a piece of clothing. We have already completely restored some clothes, even a fur coat from felt. There is a bypack, and it is a stocking worn under the boots. By the way, people still wear it. Its shape, its purpose, and ornament did not change at all for 4,000 years. They still wear such a thing. The bearer of this culture is our people, Kazakhs. Kazakhs still use felt. Well, Samat, we've beaten the wool. Now we need to clean it from all small debris, spines, and prepare for that tekemet. Like this, Appa? Yes, that's it, and fluff it up. The main thing, it should be clean. Earlier, our ancestors used this fur instead of the medicine. For example, they took a chapan full of holes, which is made from felt, and using its pieces, treated cuts, wounds on animals or on a human body. They burned this felt and applied it on their wounds, and the bleeding is stopped, and it is acted as an antimicrobial remedy. Wool has many useful qualities. So our ancestors knew about these qualities from time immemorial. And all because in the composition of sheep's wool there is lanolin, very useful natural wax. In the conditions of severe steppe climate, this natural remedy served as an excellent balm. People applied it on their dried face and hands, and they also made bandages for pains in the joints. Here, it turns out much benefit can be received from ordinary sheep's wool. Who would have thought? So we whipped it, fluffed up, and cleaned it. Now we need to put it in a required shape with the size of the future tekemet. Danapai, how will we work with the wool further? It will not be convenient for you. Here we move. Here we take and put. Do you squeeze with one hand? Yes, I squeeze with one hand. With another one, I tear the wool. It seems that this process is easier compared to whipping and cleaning by hand. But all the work must be done sitting on the ground. For me, it is difficult. After all, we do everything in the city either standing or sitting on a chair. And here my feet became numb. It is not comfortable for me. But grandmothers even don't care. Danapai, why it is necessary to tear the wool in pieces and push down. If we do not press, all the wool will be loosened. That's why we push down so much. Thus, the wool will lie beautifully, and the fibers will be well attached to each other. Will we put the next layer crosswise? Yes, this layer will be across the previous one. As a rule, earlier this process was done by only one skilled worker, since several pairs of hands would violate the uniformity of the surface. And I think this was the right decision. After all, look at how different the fur is spread by the master and by me. But I encourage myself, the experience will come with time. One day, I will become a master of tekemet making. Ulanapa, I've already laid out their whipped and cleaned wool for tekemet. Now we will cut the patterns, right? Yes, patterns are an important part of tekemet. In this case, we lay a pattern of white felt on a black felt. Here I prepared part of it. Now you try. Is this also wool? Yes, this is also wool, more delicate. We will make out of it the patterns and put on our tekemet. Cut it like this according to sample? Yes, cut it out. As far as I know, this ornament is called lamb's horns. Yes, it's a zoomorphic pattern. It looks like a sheep's horns. In fact, all the ornaments Kazakhs took from nature, associated with its changes.
күннің қимылына оюдың бәрі соған белгіленген.
It was not easy for nomads to make a tekemet, but it was a useful thing in their life. Complicated ornaments and plexus ornaments can tell us about the culture and worldview of nomads. By the way, traditional Kazakh ornaments are very similar to the patterns of Anduranov culture, ancient saks, huns, uysuns. Patterns can be geometric, zoomorphic, vegetational. Ancient tribes decorated household items, weapons, ritual objects with such patterns. During the process of making a tekemet, zoomorphic patterns are used mostly. And for clothes are more suitable floral ornaments, flowers, leaves. It is not easy to create patterns. Earlier in the village, as a rule, there was only one noble master who cut out patterns. She was an important person in the process of making a tekemet. People asked an advice from her and discussed together what color would be good for tekemet, and decided the color and shape of the patterns. In a traditional tekemet, as the rule, in the central part there will be a circular pattern, such a solar circle. Along the edges of the pattern will go with a ribbon, and all elements of patterns are taken from nature. By the way, talking about nature, Appa, it's very beautiful here, but these crows have been croaking since the morning and disturb everyone so much. No, do not say that. Crows are friends. We're used to them. After all, there is a saying about the Kazakhs. Their roots are ancient, like crows. I have been to many places, but I have not met so many ravens. Even other ravens do not make a voice like ours. I think they understand us, because they are created in the same world with us. It is interesting. I am annoyed by this croaking, but it turns out that the crows are in friends and the grandmother's places. It seems that I am not able to understand nature as closely as these wise old people, because they appreciate birds and animals, mountains and stones, forests and deserts. But let's be back to our patterns. By the way, the Kazakhs have a special ornament dedicated to these birds. It is called a crow's claw. Well, shall we put our patterns on the tekemet? Yes. It is necessary to find the very center. Where is the center? Here. And the pattern will be remain like this. I read somewhere that in the owls before, felting was used to be a whole holiday. Grandmothers and women were gathering. Together they were making felt and singing songs. Maybe we can sing. It's true. The process was considered to be a small holiday. Ashirkul. Well, let's start a song.
Söyledin kamıştın sabahına leyla Aldan jarışı güttün Jaksı olsa dedim ayay Almamıştın gülümdü yav Tekemettin türümdü yav Ötüp devrin bara jatır Sizden bizge ölümdü yay Ayt deginde ölümdü Ağırlayman ölüm uçkana Kuday bağırlayman dedim ayay Tekemettin türündü yav Almağaçtın gülündü yav Ötüp devrin bara jatır Sizden bizge
I am sure in the end, a good product will be obtained if it is created in a good mood. Our patterns, like our grandmother's voices, are laid perfectly. So the patterns are arranged. Now all this must somehow be glued together, right? Is water used as a glue? Yes. Moreover, boiling water should not be poured by a straight stream, but dissipating. Otherwise, all other patterns will move. The wool will fade. All glued with boiling water. Yes, it will stick together. Then turn our tekemet into a mat. Do not worry. Pour it. As grandmothers told me, water should not be poured from above, but sprinkled. By its weight, the water compresses the felt, and due to steam, fiber becomes softened and the wool is glued together. Why are we covering it? Because cheatgrass is not well cleaned, so it could damage our wool.
Мына нелер, мінекей қабықтар бар. Сол қабықтар ана жүнді қопарып кетеді. Сол үшін ана не қылмас үшін біз мына.
That's why we cover and wrap.
Содан кейін барып ораймыз.
The next stage is the kicking of the tekemet. Yes, we wrapped canvas, boiled in hot water in a mat. Appa, why we should kick the tekemet? Then the wool will be stick together well. Patterns are tight. Tekemet will be tight. For this, we should kick. And how long it will take? It will take time. Yes, who said that tekemet is easy to do? Then let's sing and kick tekemet again.
Alma ağaçtın gölünde yav, tekemetin töründe yav.
Ötüp dövrün bahçadır, sizin bizgirlerinde yav. Arğandamı sorasam, olbastağın, olbastağın bolup ba, olbastağın dedim ayağı.
It is generally believed that making tekemet is exclusively a feminine occupation, but men help to make a very large canvas. Jiggets pulled a lasso sitting on a horse, but even I have no horse. But I'll try to be useful to my grandmothers. They say they made a large tekemet together with all villagers. Women gathered, working with felt, shared news, planned seasonal work, prepared food. Everyone was in a good mood, so that the process turned into a holiday. I understood one thing, how important it is to be able to be pleased with every day, any work, and then this work unites people, pleases, and in general turns into a holiday. As a result, we were kicking almost half an hour. It's not so easy. But now, everything seems ready. We'll untie now, and look at my tekemet. Come here, please. Let's see. Let's see. Come on, unwrap it. It is amazing. Kulanapa, we have been doing this tekemet since the morning. Well, now everything is ready, right? No, not at all. Now the main work is waiting us. We will roll by hand wrists. What is it like? We'll wrap it up like this and roll it. We will roll by hand.
Шықтырмайды, өзі жан-жағының бәрі жинақталады. Білектейміз, өнен кейін қарпу дейді. Қарпу деген
Then we lift and beat our tekemet.
ұрғылаймыз. Сонда өзі кәдімгі
Then all the wool will be compressed and it will be a firm tekemet. That is, we will roll with our hands, yes, yes. Well, let's start rolling.
Апа тұра тұрайықшы.
Oh, wait, please. I'm tired.
Аха.
Біздің апаларымыз туралы айтады екен.
Our grandmothers never got tired. I was surprised.
Ауылда тұрсаң,
Кештің батысы.
ауылда тұрсаң спорттың да денешін.
In the village, you live like this, and no gym is necessary.
Бәрі бізге жүріп отырады.
Шаршадым.
Oh, I'm exhausted. This is impossible, but these grandmothers are like unremitting robots. As for me, somehow I feel uncomfortable staying next to them. Good thing, the work is nearing its end.
Не білек дедік.
Here we rolled by hand. Our hands are already red. Now it is time to throw down the tekemet. As I understand it, we will wrap up the tekemet and begin to beat it and throw it on the floor. Yes, we will beat. That's how we roll everything inside.
Бетіп. Ал енді күшің бар ғой енді уақыт.
And now throw straight to the ground.
Ұрғылап берем жерге.
Уақыттыра беремін.
Лақтыра бер, бір.
I will throw down and that's it. Throw it and turn it over. This stage I particularly liked. I have beaten well and threw down the tekemet, as if I had avenged it for all the fatigue. By the way, Gulanapa makes not only tekemets from the felt, she also makes clothes from felt. For example, here are such hats. Her collections were repeatedly exhibited at the international ethno shows and glorified our culture and identity far beyond Kazakhstan. I am sure I can learn a lot from these masters, but let's leave it all for the following programs. Gulanapa, I learned a lot from you today. Maybe I did not become a master of the felt, but I hope that I could help you.
Болдым.
Ең басты сіздерде
Thank you.
қазыналарының жастары ұзақ болсын деп тілейін. Аяқ-қолдарыңызға дерт бермесін. Рахмет үлкен.
Ал Самат, балам айналайын.
Yes, Samat Balam, we have done a good job today. You were a good helper. You managed everything. Thank you.
Саған да талабыңа нұр жаусын. Енді
Now I want to give you a present. This tekemet from us.
ауылдан, табиғаттан.
Ой, рахмет апа.
Thank you, Appa. I'll come home, hang it in the most prominent place, and it will remind me of you. During one day, I was very attached to these people. I want to wish my dear grandmothers good health. Today, I was convinced that tekemet is not just an object of pure natural material. It's not just a carpet. It's an amazing thing. After all, a person alone cannot make tekemet. And looking at this carpet, looking at these patterns, I see not only its beauty, but also the unity, history, nature, and art of my people.